You're off to California today for a big day of photo shoots. They're getting you in a swimsuit.
Big day of this. I'm going to model.
GM Jimmy.
Should they use me as the model?
Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, we're going. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are your hosts, Tyler, and we got
Jimmy Miller.
Jimmy Miller. This one is brought to you. This is our dedication to this show. This is 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Jimmy never gets up before 10 a.m.
Not
and
true.
So we're thrilled to be here.
Early riser. I'm an early riser.
Yeah. So as you've known, the past few weeks and the next few weeks are very busy for pickleball.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of tricky fitting these episodes in, these shows in, but you guys are our priority.
Well, dude, if you keep having to play on Sunday, it hurts.
I keep having to switch my flight and I'm not liking it.
Yeah, it hurts our timing.
I'm not liking it. Okay. All right. First and foremost, thank you to our title sponsor, The Pickler. The Pickler is a nationwide, soon to be worldwide, of indoor facilities.
Worldwide, wow.
They have the best indoor pickleball facilities, and they are a full suite. They have paddles, balls, lessons, leagues, whatever you want, they have it. Go check them out. They're franchising. If you want to own a pickleball business, they have sold over 250 locations, and they are the number one brand out there for indoor facilities. Somebody wrote in with the questions. They said, stop saying they're the number one indoor facilities and tell us why. Why are they the number one indoor facilities, Jimmy?
Well, we're just talking about sheer locations, committed locations.
Mm-hmm.
They're number one.
Okay.
It's not even close.
Volume, and not only volume, but when you actually go into the facilities, everything coming down to the flooring.
Guys, this isn't a warehouse that they threw down some pickleball courts.
Well, sometimes they are warehouses.
Okay, but what I'm saying
is they retrofit them. Very nice.
They are top notch. Here's something really interesting I learned about the Pickler. Okay, it's probably not interesting to anybody else, but carpet was the big thing, right? Carpet, everyone's like, put down carpet. It's noise dampening. It's nicer. Then there's not just like this concrete floor you're walking on to get to your courts. Mm-hmm. The Pickler found out that carpet actually isn't that noise dampening when it's on the floor. Mm-hmm. And so they have hardwood. It looks nicer.
It looks better. Timber.
Yes. Like it looks nicer. It gives it a classier feel. Like little touches like that are the things you find. And that's all of them. Like they have actual specifications to your build out that you have to follow.
The colors, the lighting, all of the above. It's really dialed in. It's meant for players. It's not an eatery where you go out there, have fun. It's for serious players who are wanting to get better. Of course, you're going to have a good time. But Pickler's great. Go check them out. If you're interested in franchising, tell them that we sent you. And next, Pickleball Central, they are the number one online retailer in the world. They have the best return policy. So if you're interested in checking out any paddle and you're not quite sure, go check them out. And they have I believe, 30-day return policy.
Yeah.
Use our code KOTC at checkout to save yourself the most discount out of anybody out there.
Someone just texted me last night and said that they saved $70 using our code.
Love it. $70 is $70 earned, $70 saved.
Yes.
All right. Okay, moving on. This last week was a big week.
Houston.
I got fried.
Clearly. I mean, it looks rough. It looks painful from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I did not sleep well the past few nights.
You need some aloe.
No. Pain is weakness leaving the body, Jimmy.
Oh, boy.
I ain't no scrub.
Oh, boy. TLC.
Yes, exactly. So what were your thoughts? Were you watching some of the tournament?
I watched a lot of it. It was nice because I had the Masters on one side and pickleball on the other. It's a good weekend.
Real quick, that was an interesting tournament because, to my knowledge, it was the lowest amount of players, amateurs. I think there was just shy of 700 players total. Normally, these PPA tournaments are getting around 900 to 1,000 plus players. Yeah. And so 200 to 300 players short was quite a big difference. It was in a secluded area. It was actually pretty nice. A lot of trees around.
Have you played at that venue before?
No, it was first time. And they actually just switched to pickleball in September of last year. And so it's fairly new. But it was cool because it was just different. It didn't feel like an amateur tournament like was going on. At the same time, it almost felt like a pro only tournament.
Really?
And so there wasn't a ton of people there, but it was fun. It was kind of serious. The court spacing was really good, and the viewing was pretty good as well.
Were you okay with like on grandstand having the court right next to you though?
Yeah, because there was quite a bit of
enough
space
space.
there. Yeah, I mean there was
Yeah.
I would say at least 10 feet of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seemed that there were some internet issues.
Yeah, the service out there was not great.
The stream was going down a lot.
And then the weather was good, except for, well, it was good. The last 2 days I feel like were pretty warm, pretty hot, and also humid. So the first day was really nice, and then after that was a little bit warmer.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the players, like, were talking about how the ball seemed a little bit softer because they hadn't played in the
Insanely soft, and this is not a ball or an issue specific to Vulcan. It happens even with a Dura, it happens with a Franklin, it happens with all the other balls out there. And I was talking to a ref afterwards, and they need to figure something out, because if you go play in Utah in the wintertime versus Florida in the summertime, that ball is drastically, I would honestly say, probably 20 to 30% difference in terms of characteristics of that ball.
Should they have different balls for different climates?
No, they should just standardize one and make it like tennis balls. They do bounce slightly different in high versus low altitude, but I mean, that's pretty much it.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense, Jimmy?
That makes sense.
Okay, what are your thoughts? What matches were good?
Well, let's start. I mean, let's just go through them really quick. We can look at them. I mean, men's singles, Fed continues to just 7 for
Destroy.
7. Destroy.
Yeah.
He is 7 for 7 on championship Sundays.
The interesting thing to me is he is, I would say, by far the number 2 player right now, like undisputed. However, when he goes up against Ben, Ben seems to have him figured out pretty good at the moment. But Ben will struggle against the guys that Fed is beating handily.
So
it's like a triangle.
Yeah. So I mean, Kwang Duong beats Ben.
Yeah.
Big upset in singles. In fact, I'll pull up the brackets here real quick. Big upsets in singles. But then Fed literally handled him. I mean, fairly easily in that championship match.
Yep.
And the thing with Fed is his game. And I said this when he was playing you in men's doubles, which we'll get to, but his game, he is emulating Ben to a T.
The thing that's so interesting to me with Fed is he doesn't seem too flashy. Like, he's not hitting these crazy shots. He's just it's almost like you said, Ben, very robotic.
Yeah.
His shots are very calculated, very placed. He doesn't go for that big of a serve, to be honest. His returns, they're not crazy. They're solid, but I wouldn't say he's just ripping the ball 100%. So it's interesting to see the amount of success he's having, because he's just walking through the competition right now.
Yeah, I mean, just to recap, Fed's road to championship Sunday is he played Rafa. That actually went 3.
Yeah. Third game wasn't close, but
no,
it did go 3.
No, yeah. The games he won, it was 11-4, 7-11, 11-2. Then he beats Dylan Frazier 11-2, 11-5.
Yeah.
And then he beats Donald Young 11-3, 11-4.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And then he wins 11-6, 11-2. Like, he's just on a tear. I mean,
I wonder if some players at the moment are almost mentally beat before they even play against him. I know that happens quite a bit, and that happened with Ben Johns for quite a while. A lot of these players, they almost had zero hope going into the matches, and so I wonder if that effect is going on. But regardless, he's playing insane right now, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he's clear cut number 2, but man, I think he's closing fast on Ben. I mean, I think there's a legit chance that he could have more points in singles.
I think he will
Ben
have more points for sure.
Year,
But whenever they play each other, that's because Ben is getting knocked out before they have
the
a
head
chance
to head,
play.
exactly. And obviously matchups
I think
matter.
He might even have more. I don't know if he has more points than him right now, but I bet he will by the end of the year.
Another guy who had a good weekend, by the way, at least in singles, Donald Young beats Jay.
Yep.
He beats Kason Campbell. He beats Connor Garnett.
He fights off multiple match points against Jay.
Yeah.
He fights off 1 or 2 match points against Connor Garnett.
Yeah.
I was there for his bronze medal match against Yao Mei, and that was an incredible match.
Yeah. I mean, he loses in 3, but again, Donald Young kind of took that next step. You know, I mean, we always talk about tennis players coming over and how singles is easier for them to adapt, but it feels like Donald Young hasn't had like a ton of success in either.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of
he wasn't as big as name as Jack Sock, but he's a very talented player.
Yeah, but
and
dude,
his singles is great.
What was it, 2017, 2019? He made a French Open final?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty.
I don't know if it was main draw, maybe juniors or something.
No, it was, yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Fact checked me. No way he made a French Open final.
I promise. Let's look. Should we look it up? I'm telling you, Donald Young can play. Let's see. He was as high as number 38.
Okay.
That's
he didn't
really
make
good. Doubles.
Okay.
2017 French Open final.
A little bit different than singles. I have a question for you.
Fourth in the 2011
I have a question
US
for you.
Open. What's that?
So the comparison between pickleball tennis continues on, and you hear about it all the time. I'm not very familiar with padel, but do people make the same comparison to padel that they do to tennis? Say, padel is so much easier to play.
I feel like it for people that have played it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've never heard of those comparisons as much as the comparison between pickleball and tennis.
No. Well, I agree with that. But like the people that have played padel, they seem to be like very protective of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they always talk about it. But I mean, it's big in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's ever going to be huge here. And the reason for that is because of how much space it takes.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of space that it takes to put up the court with the wall and I mean, that's the problem. And so, but you don't see those comparisons. No. And the reason you don't see those is because pickleball has 30 million players and it's overtaking, a lot of the
it's just
space.
Interesting that I mean, I'm not in that sport, but I don't think I've ever heard people say, padel is so much easier than tennis.
Yeah.
But all right. Anyways, moving on. Singles. Anything else with singles?
Well, no. I mean, men's singles. I think that's. I mean, Jaume had.
Did you see Julian Arnold's match versus Kason Campbell?
Yeah, dude, Julian. I heard that Julian was using the new Yola, and they told him he couldn't use it anymore because it's only for pro players that are signed by Yola.
I think that was a while ago, but they took it. He said they took it away from him.
Yeah, now he's back to using the old Yola.
Oh, I love Julian. He's great.
Is he?
He's great. The world needs more Julian.
Julian's had a rough go of it. That's all I'll say. But yeah, Fed wins. Kwang Duong, big run to Championship Sunday.
Yeah, Kwang is looking great.
Finishes second, and then Jaume finishes third.
Yeah, that was a close bronze medal match, but he did finish third.
Jaume beat Christian Alshon.
Mm-hmm.
He beat Gabe Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a good run too. So, women's singles. So the big surprise was Samantha Parker, kind of new on the scene.
Lives out in Dallas. I was talking to her a little bit.
Yeah, so she beats Mary Brasha, who Mary was actually the 1 seed, which again is no Annalie was in the field, no Catherine, but still it was a pretty good field, I felt like. And Mary was the 1 seed, and Samantha Parker ends up beating her. And then what's crazy is that top half of the bracket I felt like was okay, right? Like, I mean, Mary Brasha was up there. Lacey Schneemann was up there. But the bottom half of the bracket felt, I guess, a little bit tougher. You had Paris, you had Leia, you had Dominique Schaefer, Lina, Christine Maddox. So it felt like it was a little bit harder. And so when Samantha Parker won the top half, it was like, okay, like she's got a good chance. So when she beats Mary. So she beats Mary. Alex Trong upsets
Caitlin Christian. Yeah. Yep.
What was crazy is she went up 11-0 and then 9-0. So she scored 20 straight points against her. And then Caitlin came back and tied it. At
Fellow
9-9.
Utah Diamond.
Black Diamond. But then Caitlin came back and tied it at 9, and then Alex pulled it out 11-9.
Yeah.
So Samantha makes it, and then Leia had she played Dominique Schaefer. That one went 3. She loses the first, ends up winning the next 2. And then her and Paris have had some battles recently. I think this is 3 tournaments in a row they've played. And so she ends up beating Paris 5-10. She beats her 12-10. Gets to Championship Sunday, and she just rolled.
There's a little bit of controversy in that match with line calls, and then at the end of the match, it looked like they were kind of arguing with each other, but what happened is Paris wanted to challenge Leia's paddle, and apparently paddle challenges are not available
Yeah,
anymore.
paddle challenges no longer exist in 2024.
There's so many things I learned at each tournament. For example, the back draw is no longer there. It's non-existent.
The points draw?
The points draw, they took it away.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they took that away. So there's nothing.
Oh.
Once you lose, you're out.
Oh, so even if you lose first round,
Yep, you're
you
done.
don't go play in the points draw.
You're done.
But
Yep.
you played in the points draw.
Minnesota, that was
Yeah.
apparently the last one.
Oh, and so you're the last points draw champion.
Exactly. That's got to mean something, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, in the championship, Leia rolled, and then she said she pulled the Ignatowicz, said the monkey's finally off my back. Said it was her first singles title since 2021.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
I mean, the OGs had a good week.
Yeah. Congrats, Leia.
Yeah, so good win for Leia. All right, mixed. Let's go mixed doubles.
Okay. Mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles. So there was a match. We're going to talk about this for a minute in mixed doubles that most people probably didn't see, most people probably didn't hear about, most people probably don't care about.
Okay. Which one is
And
this?
it was Ryan Fu and
Okay.
Ava Ignatowicz.
Oh, do I need to leave for this one?
Nope.
I feel like I need to leave.
Against Colin
I'm holding
Johns.
up this incredible reset cloth in front of my face.
Against Colin Johns and Regina Goldberg. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So Ryan Fu.
Just letting everyone know I did not relay whatever information he is.
Oh, I got my info. This is firsthand, Tyler, even though I know that you were there.
By the way, you're causing a lot of issues for me out on the court. People are going for my head. They're not talking to me anymore.
Well, listen, you are your own person. They need to separate it. So Ava and Ryan. Ava Ignatowicz is the little sister of James Ignatowicz. If you've ever talked to her on the phone, she's a nice, sweet girl, or in person. She literally sounds like she's 15, right?
Looks like she's 15.
She looks like she's 15. I think she's 21, 20,
Yeah.
19, 18, 20. I don't
She's
know.
21 or 22.
She's very young. But she sounds young. She looks even younger. And so she's playing with Ryan Fu, who's new. He plays a lot with James.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing against Colin Johns and Regina Goldberg.
Yeah.
So they win the first game. Ryan Fu and Ava get a big upset in game one. And they end up pulling it out and they win 15-13. I guess Ava got pretty excited, right? And I guess throughout that game, like she would like let out a couple come-ons. Now listen, her come-ons are probably like a squeaky, come on, yeah, woo. She's not like grunting. She's not screaming. She's not
a Rafa Hewitt.
Yeah, that's not her personality, and I don't think she even has that kind of voice. So game two, they're playing. Colin picks up the win, but I think Ava's still kind of pumped up. She's like, we got a chance. We could win this. Game three, Colin and Regina pull it out. And I think Ava and Ryan were pretty happy about their performance.
Yeah.
So they're walking off, and Colin looks at Ava and says,
Don't look at me right now.
no, you're Colin. Looks at Ava, and he says, really? Just like that. Really? And Ava says, what? Really what? And he's like, you're really going to cheer like that after every point and every mistake? And she's like, well, I was just excited. Like, she literally said, this is a quote, you're Colin Johns. Like, you were like my role model. I learned the game of pickleball from watching you and watching your videos. So it was exciting to get points off of you and to win a game. And Colin says, well, if you want to be liked by people, maybe you shouldn't cheer like that. If you want your role models to actually respect you, maybe you shouldn't cheer like that. And then he told her that it was one of the most unsportsmanlike things he's ever seen. Now, let me just be very clear. We watched the match with you and Rafa. Chirp, chirp, chirp. We saw a match with Will Howes and Rafa against Ignatowicz and James. And Matt Wright. Chirp, trash talk, right? We've seen Christian Alshon to get himself pumped up. We've heard the Andiamos. We've had women talking and chirping to each other, right? Anna Bright fist pumps.
Yeah.
All of these things. It's very, very, very common in the sport. But for some reason, Ava Ignatowicz, and I don't know if it's because, I don't know, but for some reason, Ava Ignatowicz got under Colin's skin. And so after that, I guess it gets broken up. Dylan, the pro player liaison, says, Ava,
Walk your separate ways.
walk your separate ways. She starts walking up to this pavilion where all the players are, and Colin is still talking about it. The 30-plus-year-old Colin Johns is really bothered by the 18, 19-year-old Ava Ignatowicz.
21.
21-year-old, whatever. He's really bothered by this. And he's telling people how unsportsmanlike she is. So she walks over, or walks by him, I guess, and says, hey, it wasn't unsportsmanlike. Everybody says, come on. I was just excited. Like she's, again, praising him. You're Colin Johns. And he said, and I shouldn't laugh, but he said, you know that you're a loser. This is a direct quote, by the way.
I don't know who you're looking at. I don't know why you
just
keep
telling
looking at me.
You're a loser. You will never, ever beat me. Enjoy losing in the first round. And then he has this dramatic pause because he's a freaking weirdo. For eternity. That's what he said. And Ava starts bawling, red-faced, crying, and walks away. And Colin just sits there with his smug little self, acting like he's good at pickleball, even though he rides his brother's coattails and he sucks at mixed, and just has no issue with it. Has no issue making a freaking 21-year-old little girl cry because she said, come on, during a match. Like, that's one of the most incredible things. And then he tells Ryan Fu that he played a higher level of tennis than Ryan ever thought of. Well, Google tells me that Colin was like a 3-star recruit. Ryan Fu played at Michigan. So, I mean, I know that Colin was homeschooled and he allegedly played pro, but he was like the ranked 1600th in the world. So congratulations. You signed up for a pro event. There's no way that Jack Sock, Donald Young, and those guys recognize Colin Johns as a pro tennis player, okay? They don't. So my point is, you're a clown, Colin. You can't freaking yell at little girls and call them losers. Tell them that they're going to lose first round for eternity and make them cry. Like, what's wrong with you? Literally, what's wrong with you? Like, those are signs of an abusive person. They are.
That's a bit far.
Those are
signs of an abusive person.
That is. I can't even imagine what that. If you are okay acting like that in public, how do you act behind closed doors?
The only thing I'll say is you were not there. You did not see the match, and so we do not know 100% if anything else happened or.
But I did talk to somebody that was involved.
You talked to Colin?
Somebody else that was involved.
Dylan?
Somebody else that was very much involved. And all I'm going to say is 3 hours later, this person was still crying, you dick. Okay? All right. Anyways, that's my rant for the day. Colin's a clown.
Can we get Tyson in there? How would Tyson would have reacted?
Honestly, I feel like Tyson would have actually probably reacted better than Colin did.
All right, moving on. Okay.
Dude, how do you say, literally, wait, hang on a minute. How do you say you're going to lose first round, enjoy losing first round for eternity? Like, what an idiot. Like, at least, I guarantee he like looked over and he was like, sick bird, dog. Like he's an idiot. That's, first of all,
did he have his glasses better. On though?
Of course he did. I'm sure he's still wearing his goggles and he's sitting there like his way he grits his teeth and his ugly smile. Like, stop, dude.
I like Colin. I like Colin.
Well, I don't anymore.
Okay. Any other fun match? Hey, I played mixed doubles first round. Johnny Pickleball. He tries to nasty me.
And did he get you?
No, but it was actually fairly close.
You played against Brenna from Utah.
From Utah as well.
It looked like it was super close.
First game was not. Second game actually was a little bit closer.
What was going on with Johnny Pickleball?
I don't know. He was super intense.
Did someone pee in him and Colin John's Cheerios in the morning?
I don't know. But I think PPA announced that he was actually signed, like a signed player now.
Johnny Pickleball?
Yeah. Oh. I thought they announced that. And so I don't know if he's taken pickleball more serious in terms of competing, because as of now, he's your favorite lead instructor for the camps. And so
everybody's favorite.
Yeah, but that was a fun match. But that was the first time I've ever in my 10 years
mad because
of something you said.
Because something I said.
Maybe
because I joked about his camps.
Maybe
and said that, like,
and that's what I said. I'm starting to get some backlash from you, Jimmy. But this was the first time in a tournament in my 10 plus years of playing tournaments that somebody has attempted a nasty Nelson.
Did he even smile when he did it?
He joked around, and at the end of the match, I said, if you would have been a little bit more accurate, you would have got a free point. And he's like, sorry, man, I just had to try it. I'm like, the thing is, it was like at my head. Like when I go for Ernie's or nasties, I go for the body. Yeah. But this was like literally.
Well, that's because he's not skilled. It's above his skill level. Like clearly, it's above his skill level.
Yeah.
And he had
so pretty interesting, but it was just a weird weird time and place to do it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, any other matches?
Mixed. Yeah. So let's talk about mixed really quick. So, Ben is playing with a new partner.
Etta Wright?
Yeah, Etta Wright. Annalie is at the U.S. Open.
I'd love to see Ben play with somebody else like Etta or Anna Bright against Annalie.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be a good match. Then we had a couple good runs. So Tyra and Dylan they played really well, but they ended up losing in 3 to Jackie Kawamoto and Christian Alshon. Vivian David, Thomas Wilson get to the semis. Callie and Jay against Matt and Lucy.
Yes.
So there was a little controversy in that match. So it goes to 3.
Go off, King.
It goes to 3. It's 9-6. There's a questionable call. Of course, it goes Callie's way. And Lucy,
who's partners with Callie,
the next day, there is a little bit upset. And Lucy ends up slamming the ball down. Literally slams the ball down coming out of a timeout. Gets pretty upset about it. After the match, she doesn't tap paddle. She just walks off. And it was very, very evident the next day, if you watched Callie and Lucy play, that had carried over.
Yeah.
They weren't really talking on the court. Their post-match interview with Hannah, Lucy was, literally said, "Ask Callie." There's still a lot of bad blood there. And I think we saw this a couple times throughout the weekend, and not just with Lucy and Callie, but for example, Pablo and Fed were playing Connor Garnett and DJ Young, and Pablo had 2 calls on match point that he ended up.
He had 2? I thought
2.
I heard 1, but I didn't know there was
2.
Another one.
Both of them were on a match point that he had called out, and they challenged them, and they both ended up getting reversed. Now, I don't think, this is just my own opinion, I don't think a lot of players do this on purpose. But I think when the match gets tight, there are players out there, their mentality is to look for an out ball instead of winning the point. Does that make sense? They start to call everything closer when it's going to benefit them and when it's a close match.
Yep.
And that's what Callie did. Whether she was right or wrong, that's what Pablo did. I mean, he was wrong on 2. I don't think Pablo was trying to hook anybody. I heard in another match that Coop had literally 3 or 4 calls overturned. I mean, it's insane. And so and we know that it's hard to call your own lines, but there's also players out there that have a reputation. I mean, Annalie, we saw her in singles with Leia. Yeah. She got overturned multiple times. And I think when you start to get that reputation, that people are going to get pissed. And even if it's your partner, Callie has a little bit of that reputation. We saw it in Daytona, right? With her and Leia and Tyra, right? And they, there's that reputation.
There's 2 things that need to happen. Number 1, there needs to be better cameras. There needs to be a better review process. 100%. That's number 1.
Yeah.
And then number 2, there has to be penalties for those players, myself included, that get overturned multiple times in a match or maybe even a tournament.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like it's for most players, it's super malicious. I just think that
No, but yeah, I mean, there will be maybe 10 to 20% that if it's close, they'll call that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And there's just this group of players that if the ball is close, it is out. And they're giving themselves the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, good cheaters don't cheat on every call. They only cheat when it's very important, when it's effective, where it matters.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen that with specific players.
But the thing I'll say is I got overturned in the semis against Pablo and Fed, and I didn't see it 100%. Christian said he saw it out, and I was kind of turning, and I thought it was out too. I didn't see 100%, but I thought it was out. And they reviewed it, and they overturned that call. But what I want them to do is put that replay on the scoreboard, on the backboard, so everybody can see it, because I'm certain that ball was out.
Yeah.
And Christian saw it out too. And so it's we're not going to call it in if we see it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And there's just got to be a better process and people are all going to make mistakes. And, there was a ball last week.
Yeah. I mean, it just puts a lot more pressure on you and your partner, and you don't want to be put in that situation. For example, Jay with the Callie situation, whether or not he saw it, that puts him in a very bad situation. Does he want to overrule his partner and then put those 2 at
and then exactly. It's almost like you just plead the fifth and you don't say anything.
Yeah, but then you're letting your partner get away. And
yeah, exactly. It's tough. I mean, it puts you in a tough spot. So Callie and Jay ended up winning that match, and then they end up taking Ben and Ed at a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jackie Kawamoto gets the Vivian David Thomas Wilson monkey off her back.
Yep.
I feel like she's lost to Viv and Thomas quite a few times this year with Riley.
Viv and Thomas, they lost in the quarters. It wasn't the semis.
It was
because they didn't play bronze.
Oh, you're right. It was quarters. Yep. So they beat them in 3, 11-9, 3-11, 11-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ended up playing Ben and Etta in the semis, and losing 4-9. And then maybe the surprise, back-to-back tournaments, Deckelbar, Tina Pisnik.
Incredible.
Championship Sunday.
Yep.
I mean,
Tina is looking good out there. Her backhand flick, her dinks, everything like that.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say that I can see is her Achilles heel is mobility.
Yeah.
But outside of that, she's solid.
Yeah. I mean, there was a Real Clear Stats thing that showed like the number of resets for in MLPs last year, and she led by a long ways.
No, it was fun. I mean, I watched their bronze medal a little bit, and that was kind of the first time that I've actually watched her play more than a few points. So it was cool to see. She's good. Yeah.
So Tina and Deckel get to Championship Sunday, but Ben and Etta pull it out 11-4, 11-6, 11-5. And then Jackie and Christian rolled in the bronze.
Yeah.
1-5 over Pablo and Jesse. So you and Lena had a good run, though?
Yeah. We had 2 good wins.
You had Pablo and Jet. You beat him in the first game.
We did, yeah.
And then ended up losing the next 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. We'll go women's doubles.
But first,
yes,
big shout out to our next sponsor of this segment, C&D Pickleball Nets. They are the best pickleball nets out there. We love them. I'm putting in a court in my backyard, and I will be using a C&D pickleball net, not only because of the insane quality, but also because I can move it when I need to.
You don't have wheels?
I think so. Yeah, so I can move it, and then we can open up that space.
What will you do on your court?
Ride skateboards, ride bikes.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy.
Oh, my.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have girls. I have 2 little girls, and so if they want to run around or something like that, it gives them a little bit more space. So C&D pickleball nets, the best pickleball nets. You can use them for your home, your gym, your church, pickleball facilities. There's a lot of pickleball facilities that are starting to use them, and it's great to see.
Did you know that this segment somebody told me this was their favorite segment of the show?
C&D?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they love to hear what we're about to say about C&D.
Well, I feel like it's pretty scripted now, but.
No, I'm just saying C&D is great.
C&D is great. We love them.
Yeah, check them out.
Yeah. And we also have a new sponsor that we said we would announce this week, but it'll probably be next week.
I think we're supposed to go there today.
Yeah, but you're going out of town and you have not responded to their text.
Maybe
Shocking.
You should go there today.
Maybe. But I think they want you to be out there to actually test out the product as well.
I mean, if they want it to sell, then yeah, I should be there.
Yeah, they're great. Go check them out. What's the website?
Thebestpickleballnets.com.
Okay. Use code KOTC. It helps support us. It saves you money. It's a win-win for everybody involved.
Yes.
Did you hear about the guy? He placed an order for, I think, 10 nets.
Really?
And he used our code, and he was able to save a little bit of money.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think it was 5 or 10. Somewhere around there.
That's awesome.
Okay, moving on to women's doubles.
Yeah, so women's doubles. Couple interesting things. So I would say the best match probably was Callie and Lucy, even though they weren't talking, against Paris and Tyra. That went 3.
Yeah.
Really exciting. Callie and Lucy pulled it out. And then they ended up playing Vivian David and Jackie Kawamoto, and Viv and Jackie got the dub. On the other side of the bracket, Leah and Tina Pisnik beat Etta and Megan.
Yes, and that was on grandstand court, and it was in 2, right?
Yeah, it was in 2, and I'm not sure that. I mean, I think Leah and Tina played insane, both of them in that match. And then
do Leah and Tina have any more scheduled? Do you know?
I don't think they do, but I hope that they get some.
I see. It seems like that's a fairly complementary partnership because Leia can be the aggressor and Tina, I mean, just blocks, resets.
And what's interesting about it is Tina's doing it from the left.
Yes. Yeah. I think she likes the left, though.
She does like the left for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that usually the left side player is the aggressive player. But Leia has a good backhand flick.
Yeah.
and she's got a really good forehand roll dink. And obviously she volleys extremely well. So she can play the right and still be the aggressor from the right.
Yeah.
Which I think is not what people are used to. So, yeah. But then they end up getting to the semis, and Rachel Rohrbacher, Anna Bright, who are the heavy, heavy favorites in this, end up beating them.
So I was there on site, but it was a game 3, right? It went 3 games.
No, only went 2.
The finals?
Oh, the finals. Yes. They beat them in the semis. And then the finals, yes. So it was 3 out of 5, right?
Oh, okay. My bad.
But in the finals, it was Rohrbacher and Anna against Vivian David and Jackie Kawamoto.
How about that coverage, though?
Yeah. It shut out. All of a sudden, gone. Disappeared.
Yeah.
Jackie and Viv led every single one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Every game they led. And then they lost all.
By how much? Just a couple points?
Yeah. It was like 4. It was like 4-1, 5-1. It was like, I think 3-0. It was like 6-2.
Yeah.
They led every single one of them. They ended up losing 8, 4, 9. So Rachel Anna bounced back after losing to Sarah Ansberry and Banata.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you hear that story?
What story?
About Audrey Banata?
I don't think so.
So I guess I don't know what it's called. Okay, so Shabbat. They celebrate Shabbat in her religion.
Okay,
and that means that from Friday sundown to basically Monday sunup, they don't do like recreational activities, right? Like they focus on religious activities, family, things like that.
So that's religion.
Well, so that's why she doesn't play women's doubles, because generally women's doubles is on, is during Shabbat, I guess. So because of this tournament, the way that it was set up, she felt like she had a chance to play women's doubles. So she decided to play. But when she got into their semifinal match of that tournament, I can't remember who they were playing, but she went to, because it was progression draw. She went to
this tournament?
The last one. This is the last tournament.
Gotcha.
She went to the PPA and she said, hey, I celebrate Shabbat. Or I observe, I guess celebrate's Shabbat. I observe Shabbat. I've got to be done by 7:41 p.m. Well, PPA doesn't make any changes for her. Literally don't make any changes. And they start her match at 7:10 p.m. So she has 30 minutes to play her semi, or she was going to have to literally walk away and quit in the middle of the match.
Yeah.
And she basically,
that's unheard of. PPA always listens to the customers.
Right? And I was like, dude, you literally, PPA, I don't know whose call this is, but you literally moved around freaking Lucy and Jackie's match that same tournament. So this is last week, by the way, which was in
North Carolina.
You literally moved around Jackie and Lucy's match so Colin Johns could go to a hockey game. So you're able to move around matches for that purpose.
Way more important than Shabbat.
But a religious reason you don't move around their freaking match. Yeah. So they ended up having to like rush through this. And like,
did they finish? Did she finish?
Yeah, but they got smashed because it was like the whole thing was very rushed. It was it just felt like they were like,
that's sad.
Yeah, and her mom was like, 3 more minutes. I guess her mom was there on the side. She's like, 3 more minutes. We're not done in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was crazy. Like you can't accommodate for that.
Yeah.
You literally can't. And it was on grandstand. It's not like it was on a center court match.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was crazy to me. So anyways, congrats to Anna and Rachel. They bounced back from that loss, picked up the win. Jackie gets her second medal. Alshon had a medal in a fourth. Tina Pisnik and Leah win bronze. Okay. So Tina gets 2 medals.
Yep.
Leah gets 2 medals.
It's interesting. I mean, I haven't made it to Championship Sunday many times, but when you do get those opportunities to play in it, there's a lot of the same people there. There's not many new faces.
Yeah.
It's like almost always the same people, which kind of makes sense, but it's just interesting that you don't see hardly any new faces there.
Yeah. So men's doubles.
Let's go.
You played with Christian.
Alshon, yep.
You guys had a really intense match against Rafa Hewitt and Will Howells.
Well, we had one before that too, Travis and Zane.
Yes, so Travis and Zane went 3.
Yep.
Right? Tell us a little bit about it because they didn't stream that.
Yeah, that was an insane match. I thought me and Christian actually played very well. Probably the best, almost the best that I played that entire day. The matches that of mine that got streamed, I feel like weren't good. But yeah, it was close. We got the first game, and then second and third game were close. Yeah, Travis, there was a little bit of chirping, not too much, but there was a little bit of chirping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but things were in the end.
In the end, yeah, I think things were fine for the most part.
Win. Did you tell Zane this is for the best podcast?
No, I didn't. I mean, I try to, when I'm on the court, I try to keep it fairly serious and somewhat professional.
But the next round, you did not.
No.
So there was a ball.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the next round. You guys win that.
Yeah.
You guys play Rafa, Hewitt, Willhouse. So
By the way, real quick, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have to give credit to Zane. It was in between the second and third game. I don't know if this fan didn't know what was going on, but a fan literally went up to Zane in between our games and asked for his signature, like
really?
In between the games. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that would take a lot of restraint to.
Did he sign it?
He said, no, I'll do it after the match.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
but that's crazy.
Yeah, like
and
literally,
game.
Yeah, in an intense, very heated moment.
I did see somebody. Yeah. I think it was last week when Leia lost to Annalie, when she lost 11-9, 11-9.
Yeah,
and an intense match. I saw a lady jump down from the stands and asked for a selfie with Leia. Like the second the match ended.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, when you lose, I mean, all of us are very competitive, very raw.
Yeah,
we don't want to.
We've talked about this with pickleball, though, and one of the things that makes pickleball great, but also frustrating, is that the players are so accessible, right? Yeah. The players are so easily accessible, but maybe they're a little bit too accessible if that's happening.
Yeah, and it's just one thing. I mean, if you're winning, it's all great.
Yeah.
Do it all you want. But if you just got off of a close loss, then most of the time you don't want to do that. But okay, moving on.
Yeah, so you guys play Rafa and Will. They came out red hot. They literally were not going to slow down a ball. They're speeding everything up. Will's kind of a newer player, plays a lot of APP, hasn't had much success PPA. You've played Will.
Very massive serve.
Huge serve. You played Will in Daytona with Johnny Goldberg. You've played him multiple times. He plays with Goldberg, but this is his first time playing with like a really, at least in a PPA I've seen it, like
notable person.
Sorry,
Johnny.
And they had some success because, like I said, they ripped everything. But there was a point in that match where a ball looked like it hit Rafa's shirt.
No, it looked like it hit Christian's shirt.
Excuse me.
And Rafa thought it hit Christian's arm or shirt or something like that, which I did not see. The ref did not see, and Christian said it did not hit him.
Yes. But you guys stopped?
No, we continued to play the point, but during the next ball that Rafa hit, he said, that hit your shirt, or that hit you, like as he was hitting the ball.
That's right.
And it was a complete, total hindrance or distraction.
Yeah.
And the ref didn't call anything. And so we continued to play out the point. However, I mean, me and Christian were like, what is going on? This should be called a hindrance. We play out the point, and we end up losing the point.
Yeah.
And we complained to the ref, and the ref's all like, it wasn't enough to stop the point.
So a few points later, you bagged Rafa.
I didn't bag him. Christian did. And I said.
And you said what?
Yeah. I said, oh, did that hit you, Rafa? Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Great. Yeah. Rafa brings out the worst in me or the best in me, however you want to look at it. We've had multiple close matches or dramatic, emotional matches. It actually started, I mean, Rafa, he started doing the, oh, baby. And so that kind of fired me up. And then when he started saying that it hit Christian, that really got me going. But yeah, it was a really fun match. And then Christian, for game point, he hits a ball down the middle, and I said, where you at? Oh, you're on the ground, because he had like fallen on the ground. It was really good.
Was it better than Vamonos?
Yeah.
Where are you at? Oh, you're on the ground.
Yeah.
You felt good about that?
Oh, I felt really good.
Is that like a Colin Johns burn?
Yeah, sick burn, bro.
So you guys end up winning. You end up playing. So Pablo and Fed are playing Connor Garnett and DJ Young in a freaking battle. I mean, this game was back and forth. I think that Connor and DJ fought off multiple match points. Pablo and Fed fought off multiple match points. This is what we talked about earlier, where Pablo had a couple. He ended up thought the match was over, called balls out. They replayed them, two of them. They replayed them, but they ended up pulling it out 13-11. And then when you guys played Pablo and Fed, I felt like the beginning of the first game, you were playing really well.
Well, the beginning of the first game was really weird because in humid places like Houston or Florida or wherever, I have to have this Vulcan chalk powder. It is by far the best powder that makes your hands dry. And I had it up until that last match, and I don't know if I lost it or somebody stole it, but I couldn't find it. And so my grip
was trying to get Zane's autograph.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe. And so my paddle kept slipping out of my hand. And so I just felt fish out of the water there. I couldn't grab the paddle. I couldn't swing on thirds. Every third I was driving, it just felt weird. And so for the first 10 minutes, it felt very weird.
And so you guys end up dropping that.
Yeah.
Pablo and Fed go to championship Sunday.
We were actually, I believe, up 8-5 in the first game. And I thought things were going well. Like I thought we were doing well. We had a good game plan. We were playing well. But they just kept fighting and they played well. Fed and Pablo played really well that match.
So, and then on the other side of the bracket, I mean, maybe one of the more dominant runs we've seen out of Ben and Colin, and that's saying something. So they give up this. Listen to this. So they give up 10 total points to Roscoe Bellamy and John Sincola. Mm-hmm. Then they give up 12 points to Steve Deacon and Jack Levick. Then they give up 16 to Carson, to CJ Klinger and Jaume. Mm-hmm. Then they only give up 5 to Thomas Wilson and Deckel. And then in the gold medal match, 33 minutes total for 3 games, they give up 4 points to Pablo and Fed. So we're talking that they gave up.
My bronze was close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
My 2 out of 3 match was close to 2 hours in time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? 11-0, 11-2, 11-2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they gave up 1, 2, 3, in 4 games, they gave up 36 points. 4 matches. 9 games.
I was really disappointed. I was really wanting to play against them with me and Christian just because Christian's great, very athletic. Me and him both can Ernie, jump from side to side, speed up balls. And so I thought that would have been a lot of fun to play against.
Did you see the memes of pickleball?
Which one? Yeah.
The 2 brothers, Latino. Anyways.
Explain it.
No, I can't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't.
I don't know.
This is a PG show.
Is it?
Get on.
Wait. So what happened? What they post?
Get on memes of pickleball. You'll see it. And then so you guys,
Latino what?
Nothing. So you guys end up winning the.
You being censored?
You guys end up losing the bronze. Long match.
Yes, very long match.
So Deckel and Thomas get the bronze. So Deckel gets 2 medals.
Yeah.
So, anyways, congrats. Houston, hot, humid.
We did not check the studio, but where's our Vulcan ball?
It's over there.
All right, I'm going to go get it real quick.
Oh, you are right in the middle. Everybody's seen it.
All right, thank you to our next sponsor, Vulcan Pickleball.
Oh, look at that! See that?
Vulcan Pickleball is the official ball of the PPA Tour and also the KOTC podcast. We love their ball. Go check them out at vulcansportinggoods.com or Pickleball Central, and you can use code KOTC to save on either site. Anything else with the ball?
No, love Vulcan.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Check it out.
I don't know if I should be saying this, but I know that Vulcan is in talks with MLP to be the official ball. Nothing is done, but I know.
Yeah, I heard there's a couple. They're talking to a couple, so there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance that is the official ball of the MLP.
Vulcan's
so
making big
if you
moves.
are wanting to play with the official ball that the pros are using, you have to use this ball, the V Pro Flight.
Yep. Check it out.
Check it out. Okay, real quick, we're just going to gloss over. So U.S. Open has started.
Yeah.
Most of the PPA players are not there. There's a few that are there that I don't know if they got exemptions.
Yeah, I heard there's some people that asked for those in their contracts.
Yeah.
So J-Dub is there.
Yeah. Jack Foster. Ken Herman.
So interesting, Jack Foster played singles at Houston. Mm-hmm. He ends up losing to Ben Johns, 11-1, 11-5. Mm-hmm. Sounds like he got on a flight, flew to Florida.
Yeah.
Gets in at 2 a.m., plays singles.
Did you read a post or something? Or how do you know this information?
Yeah, Ken Herman wants to tell us all about it. He wrote a novel. Gets in at 2 a.m.
Who writes better novels, Herman or Kloss?
Oh, my gosh. At least Herman's so coherent, and he doesn't toot his own horn. He just likes to post his own picture. Like, I want to look at myself in the mirror and see what Ken Herman sees when he sees himself, because anybody that posts that many pictures of themselves and they want to be in every
I was about to burn you really bad.
Why? Anyone that wants to be...
He likes his hair.
I know he does. I know. Maybe that's my problem. But anybody that wants to be in every single photo op like Ken Herman must really feel good about themselves. And so I'm impressed with that. But yeah, so Jack Foster picks up the dub in singles. U.S. Open, for those that don't know, it's like all week long.
I looked at how many players are signed up. They have close to 5,000 players.
Yeah, they said 5,000. Crazy.
Nutty.
Yeah. So that's why it takes all week.
Nutty.
Yeah. So good win, Jack Foster. We will take care of your girlfriend today. Amanda Hendry, Black Bears photo shoot. She'll be there.
Are they dating?
Yeah.
Oh,
They've been dating for a while.
okay. I think I knew that.
She's the better pickleball player.
Probably.
Yeah. Of course she is.
I played Jack Foster a couple of years ago, and
He's calmed down, hasn't he? His emotions.
Yeah. But it was a weird match. But he had multiple match points, and I was able to come back and win.
You were?
Yeah.
Well, now he's U.S. Open champion, Jack Foster.
Yeah.
So, all right. I hope they didn't break up. If they broke up, I'll feel like an idiot.
Also-
no, she reposted him winning today, actually. So, good girlfriend.
Okay. Also, we have Red Rock. No, not Red Rock. LA Open.
LA.
Coming up this week.
Yeah.
We don't have time to do a preview, but know that we will be doing a recap of that.
Yeah, and there's some interesting, like Anna Bright is playing with Ben Johns.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Who are you playing with?
DJ Young and Elise.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So I'll be with DJ today too.
Yeah.
In fact, DJ thought we had to be at our photo shoot at 8 a.m.
You should have let it be.
Already on his way. And the rest of us are still in Utah. So DJ got the time wrong.
Okay. We're going to go through a couple questions.
Oh, real quick. Hey, one other thing. This is totally random, and it's probably fits for that question segment. So I got this email the other day, and it's James Ignatowich's newsletter.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I saw the one where he said you should be missing at least one serve out of 10.
Yes. Okay. So there's going to be things there that people agree and disagree with, but he has pros come on and they give like their tip, right? And like, so Dylan gave a tip, but basically it's like this weekly coaches newsletter. And honestly, like I mean this sincerely, which is crazy for me to say, but it's actually very informative.
Okay.
And it's literally like a 2-minute read, the entire newsletter. So go check it out. So I think the last one he did, I think Anna gave a tip. Dylan Frazier has done one.
How do you get Anna to give a tip?
What?
How do you get Anna to give a tip?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he probably made some threats.
Made some threats.
Maybe he was like, hey. So like Anna's was, I can't remember what Anna's was, but it was mixed double strategy. And it was because people always talk about pushing your partner off the court. And she was just explaining why, mixed double strategy is.
Real quick, you talked to James quite a bit. Do you want to give an update on him?
Yeah.
Health-wise, a lot of people were asking in the comments why he pulled out a mixed and everything like that.
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, if you want to go subscribe to his newsletter, it's James Ignatowicz newsletter.beehive, beehiiv.com. Anyways, I really think it's worth it for like these amateur players that are trying.
And it's free.
And it's free, exactly. So go check out his newsletter. Second thing, so I talked to him yesterday or the day he pulled out a mixed. He said his shoulder is okay, but he just felt like he wanted to give it one more tournament. He probably came back a little bit too early. And
so is he taking LA off then?
He's not playing LA, and he's not playing men's in Red Rock actually. Okay. So he just feels like mixed was just too much on his shoulder this weekend because obviously you cover more court and you play more balls. And so he just kind of wanted to take mixed off. And I think that Matt had already committed to play. And so he didn't really want to let Matt down. And so he, it's easier to tell your girlfriend, hey, she understands.
Yeah.
So I think he's just not quite there yet and trying to get fully healthy. And you've seen it the last 2 weeks in his game, right? Like,
yeah.
Had some losses he probably doesn't normally have.
I was talking to somebody, I won't say who, and we're talking about James, and I think James is an incredible player, honestly. But he made the question, said, is James the next, and I'm not going to say who this is because I don't want it to sound really bad, but essentially he was saying, do you think James has peaked and maybe he's starting to go downhill fast? We know a lot of players that have 1 or 2 or 3 good tournaments or even 1 year, and then after a little bit, they're irrelevant. Do you think that is the same with James?
No. I mean, I think that James, and Anna were making every single final at the beginning of the year. I think he's legit hurt. I think he's probably more hurt than he's letting on, and he's trying to play
because
through it.
this person mentioned he was the number 3 pick draft overall for MLP.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been number 1, Ben Johns, he's tough as nails. He's been doing this 10 years, 8 years, whatever.
Yeah.
He's been number 1. He can handle it. But somebody that just comes onto the scene and people start saying, oh, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Why isn't he doing this? It can get to you.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody's got opinions. That's the thing with pro pickleball is we're all experts. I mean, look at me sitting here. Like we all have our opinions and we're all experts on what they should and shouldn't be doing. But no, I mean, James is still young. He trains crazy hard, but I'm guessing with his shoulder, he hasn't been able to train like he wants to.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say, and maybe I shouldn't say this, and I'm not allowed to say this, but we're going to see a James Ignatowicz, Christian Alshad pairing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Is
it set?
Yeah.
What tournament?
I don't know what tournament, but if he is healthy, that could be a fun team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought they still...
I think that they decided they need to bury that hatchet and see how good they can play together.
That'll be interesting. I feel like because some of the times the teams that do good are the ones that can balance each other out.
Yeah.
And it seems with those two players, they're both kind of go.
The one thing with James, though, is he could play the right and the left, which I think helps. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Anyways.
Okay, we're going to try to get through questions fairly quickly. This guy's got to catch a flight. Somebody said the Discord link. So we update the Discord link in all of our most recent YouTube videos. So make sure you're checking out these videos. I think those links do expire. So make sure you're checking in on these videos. Somebody said, is Jimmy still closing loans or is he full-time MLP?
No, yeah, I still close loans. So if you guys
what are rates at?
Freaking not great. But if you want to refinance, buy a house, don't refinance right now. If you need to refinance right now, you're in worse shape than I thought. But if you want to buy a house.
All right, real quick. How do the Premier to Challenger trades work? Is it money or just player swaps?
You could do Premier to Challenger player swaps and money. You can include whatever you want. That's a tough situation though, because I don't think players would be very happy, at least the one that's going down to Challenger. So, but that is possible. And there was one that almost happened.
There was one that almost happened.
Yeah. So yeah, but you can include money. Yeah.
Somebody said, what did you think of Jack Foster's run at the U.S. Open? It's great. The thing that we were talking about off camera is it's interesting because they do rally scoring to 15. And so honestly, I mean, singles as is, if anybody gets hot.
Dude, the players hate it.
Yeah.
They hate it.
The players don't like it.
No.
The players don't like it. JW played in it. He took third.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's awesome to see a new face out there.
Yeah.
But rally scoring is very different.
Yeah.
Somebody said, what went down with the TM trade? We already talked about that quite a bit.
Who?
TM. Your favorite guy.
I know.
Don't keep his name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
By the way, wanted to take a picture with you. Tyler, great weekend.
Oh, Tyler's got fans.
Q for Tyler. It seems like Travis was chirping a lot in your match. How did this beef start? This guy. Actually, no, it started with me many years ago in a mixed doubles match. And then just kind of continued from there. But I actually would think that me and Travis are, weird to say, are somewhat on good terms.
Yeah, fine. Travis is emotional.
It's not like a TM situation.
He's competitive. He's emotional.
All right, who's the bigger sneakerhead, Tyler or Jimmy? For sure, Jimmy. I liked sneakers, but this guy,
let's talk sneakers.
Nobody can keep up with him. How was teaming with Christian? What was different than the other men teammates? I loved it. This was our second tournament. We did better this tournament than our other tournaments. It was fun because he's a great player, very athletic. And so with a lot of my partners, I love for them to look for the Ernie, and most of them don't, but Christian was. And so for us to threaten that, to have that in our arsenal is huge.
Yeah, that's big.
Did you like watching us?
Yeah, it's fun.
We had a lot of crazy points.
Crazy points, good athleticism, balls coming back that you didn't think would come back. It was fun to watch.
Realistically, how long would it take for Jimmy to go pro? There's not enough years.
I'm washed. Never. Guys, pro pickleball is hard. I promise you it's hard.
Would Tyler partner with a lefty in men's doubles? If so, what side would he want? I definitely would. I actually think it'd be a lot of fun. And actually, I've been playing the left side in practice just for fun. and it is a lot of fun, and you work on new things that you would have never thought you'd need to work on or see. It just kind of opens up your perspective.
Tyler Pablo partnership.
Rafa told me he wanted to play with me.
Rafa played lefty with Jade.
But he played the right, though, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he did. Him and Jade played lefty, and then they played. I think they played Martin Emery. There was 3 lefties on the court at once.
That's weird.
Yeah, so that was kind of a weird situation.
Okay, is it me or does Tyler and Jade have a somewhat unorthodox style? Do we have an unorthodox style?
You and who?
Me and Jade.
Kawamoto?
I'm guessing.
Because they're lefties.
That's why.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do 2 or 3 more questions. Somebody said, what was your overall experience dealing with the Houston Heat? Heat, I don't care, but I really, really, really am a baby. I don't like the humidity.
Yeah.
I don't like stepping outside your house and you're already sweating. Yeah. I don't sweat much, and when you can see the sweat through my shirt, that's not a good sign.
Sweating in the shower. Yeah.
Somebody said, what was wrong with your grip paddle this week? And it was for my last match, I didn't have my normal chalk.
Vulcan, check it out. VulcanSportingGoods.com.
Okay, you'll like this question. Ben went for 840,000. Colin went for 1,000. Is Ben really 840 times better than Colin?
Yes, or more. Yeah, 100%. Nobody else took Colin for a reason, dude. Not one other team took Colin. And had Ben not taken Colin, let's think about this realistically. If Ben didn't take Colin, where does Colin go in the Challenger draft? Truthfully, where do you think he goes?
I don't know. He's actually not that bad, and he's actually good at mixed doubles. This year he's good at mixed doubles.
I'm just telling you that nobody wanted him in. Where does he go in Challenger? Does he go first round? Is he one of the first round men? Does he go above Jaume? Does he go above Rafa? Does he go above DJ? Does he go above Jack Monroe? I don't think he does. I think he's like a second round Challenger guy if Ben doesn't take him.
Yeah. Is Vivian David a top 2 women's doubles player? Finals with 6 different partners.
No, but she is top 5. She's not better than Anna Bright. She's not better than Annalie Waters. She's not better than Catherine Parento. But she's in that next tier. There's that next tier is her. It's Jackie. It's, Leia, Callie, Lucy. There's that next tier. She's in that tier. But she's very good and she's very solid. But she needs the right partner next to her also.
Okay. Somebody said, do you know if there are any plans for PPA MLP to come to Toronto or Canada?
So there was a Toronto event.
There was.
They ended up canceling it. But I think that there are plans to get back there.
Yeah. And next year they're going to Australia.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
It's crazy. So.
Okay. Anything else, Jimmy?
No. Have fun in LA.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'll need it.
Weather looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, Los Cab. It's a fun facility. It's a little bit tight, but the venue's great. I love California tournaments.
Dude, this is three. Are you in the middle of this 4 week stretch in a row?
Yeah, and
it's a grind.
They need to figure it out. We also need to talk about this in another episode. But seeding, they need to fix that. But it has my name in the draw for singles, but I'm most likely pulling out. And I told them that before they made the draw, but they still put me in there. So I have to get another doctor's note to let them know my body is not well.
Okay.
But I will be doing singles in Red Rock.
Oh, good.
That I'm doing.
Good. Awesome.
Okay, anything else?
Okay, no.
Big thanks to our sponsors, The Pickler. We love you. Go check them out if you're wanting to start a business. Pickleball Central, the best place, the best selection to buy anything pickleball related. Use code KOTC. Share it with your friends, your family. Buy your next paddle or whatever there. Also, we love C&D Pickleball Nets, Vulcan Pickleball, and also Paddle Reset. Go spray that paddle or go spray that product on your paddle to keep it fresh and reset that paddle.
Yes.
Jimmy, we will not see you in California, even though you will be there for the next few days.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps take these videos to a new audience.
Subscribe.
All right. See you guys.